Hey, you can measure love over a glass of wine. You can measure love by the paper you must sign. You can measure love by styling and fashion. You can measure love by intensity and passion. You can measure love by how much you want it. You can measure love by an old Shakespearean sonnet. You can measure love simply by size. You can measure love by the light in someone's eyes, by the opening in the pot, the honey in the hive, by the very fact that you are alive. A measure of love, a measure of love. We all need at least a measure of love. Measure love by how much you are given. You can measure love just by the fact that you are living. You can measure love by the flowers that he sends ya. You can measure love by the kissing that she tends ya. You can measure love by the snow-capped mountain ranges. You can measure love by making positive social changes. You can measure love by how long you can sustain it. You can measure love, but good luck trying to contain it. By the raging river's roar, fertile valley fields, by every time you sit down to a decent meal. Now they say that love's a treasure if you treasure it. They say that love's a pleasure if you find the proper fit. They say that love's an ocean smashing against the shore, one worthwhile emotion we're all living for. A measure of love, a measure of love. We all need at least a measure of love. Measure love by rubies and jewels. You can measure love any way you want, there are no rules. You can measure love by how long it takes to get it, or by just how long it takes to really forget it. You can measure love by simple understanding. You can measure love by the love that you're commanding. You can measure love by how much you have in common. You can measure love, I could go on and on. By the whisper of the wind, blue of the sky, by the way you feel about yourself the day you die. A measure of love, a measure of love. We all need at least a measure of love, a measure of love, a measure of love. We all need at least a measure of love. Oh yeah.